mental health alive.
Welcome to another one on the Always Game for Life podcast, where we come together, share our stories, connect, have a few laughs, and maybe even inspire one another. Yes, it's good to be back as always. I hope you are doing amazing out there, wherever you are listening or watching around the globe. Today we have a very special episode. We do indeed. We are taking part in Podcastathon 2025. It's a 7-day worldwide event where all of us podcast hosts come together for 7 days worldwide to bring awareness to mental health. Amazing stuff. So glad to be a part of it. As well as I got a very special guest. Yes, he's been on the show before. Some of y'all might recognize, well, his voice. And some of y'all might, whoever is new.
Whoever doesn't know me are the fortunate ones.
You heard it. I welcome my brother, Gerard.
Hello, everybody. It's great to be back on the show. I had a great time last time I was here. I'm looking forward to having another great time doing this podcast.
Yeah, man, it's good to have you here again. This is great video this time, so this is all new. Yeah,
And the great thing is about this podcast is the fact that it's about a subject that's really important to me.
absolutely.
We're doing a podcast on mental health, and everybody deals with it on their own way. Some people need help with it. Other people take it in stride. But sometimes we just need to help people up along the way.
That's very true. Yes. Sometimes we just need some help and some guidance.
I like to really start with the basics. Basics being, the first question I like to ask is, who are you?
Well, we touched on this. Oh man. Well, I mean, I can start and say I'm a lot of things, as we all are. But I'm an inspiration. Like, you taught me so well, and I love it, and it makes sense. I never meant to be like you said. I never, I anticipated on being.
But that's a key element right there is when you intend to be an inspiration, you don't become that inspiration. But when you just do something for the sake of doing it, like myself, for instance, I decided to go into martial arts one day, even though I am in my 40s when I started the martial arts.
Oh, no. Yeah.
I was curious about it. I wasn't good at it at first, like no one else is.
Sure.
But I took it in stride. I improved myself to the point where I could get better at it. But I never, ever compared myself to anybody else. Because my progress is my progress. And if I was to compare myself to the other people that were around me, I would have quit.
Fair enough. Yeah. And I know because a lot of times I did struggle with that. I always compared myself,
See, that's
but
where
I
you're
learned
doing
not to
yourself
now.
for failure right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I learned not to now. Yeah.
There were certain things that I knew I couldn't do. Like when we were playing leapfrog with kids that are less than a third of my weight. I was just like, I'm willing to take the position so they can hop over me, but I'm not willing to hop over them because my weight would crush them.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough.
But when we're looking at things like mental health, a good example is right there. Never truly compare yourself to anybody else. How do you know that that same person that you're comparing yourself to isn't also comparing themselves to you?
Right. Yeah, you'd never know.
How do you know that they're not comparing the fact that you got better hair than they do, maybe a little bit better muscle tone, tanning,
Whatever it may be.
whatever
Yep.
it may be. Because
Yep.
the more you compare yourself to somebody else, is the more that you will drag yourself down. Another question is, why is it that I can say the most negative thing to a complete stranger and they'll take my words to heart more than a loved one, more than their wife, more than their place name here, as they're trying to build them up?
Well, like you said, I mean, we all want to believe, in the worst, in the negative, always. It's just, I guess it's part of human nature,
Yes.
you know?
Unfortunately, that is true.
We always look to that, and yeah, it's terrible, but it's true, yeah.
It is also hardwired into our foundation,
Right.
which is why one of the things I've been looking into when it comes down to mental health is breaking down what we have practiced in the past, breaking it down and restructuring it to address the real problem, which is our foundation.
Yes, for sure. The more we strengthen our foundation, then the more we can, figure things out for ourselves. And
Yeah, and that's important
100%.
too, is figuring things
Yeah.
out for yourself.
Yeah.
Like figuring out, who are you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is always a good start.
That is. Absolutely.
Also, when you truly love something, when you truly love somebody, you really want to strive to improve so you can embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
But it could also be the anchor around your neck.
For sure. Yes, it can.
It's like another question. This one's easier by
Oh,
far.
an easier one. I like this. Okay.
Which one is more satisfying?
Mm-hmm.
Building a 4-piece puzzle or a 500-piece puzzle?
Oh, that is just obvious, man. The 500 piece.
It's just like anything else. The 500-piece puzzle is more satisfying when you put it together because it is harder.
Mm-hmm.
The struggle is there, but when you get to it, then the satisfaction is well worth it.
Yeah, because the more of the challenge it is for us, the better we feel for the payoff. During the payoff, because it's like, wow, that was difficult, and look what I
Yes.
did, and then you have that celebration.
And it's like both of us have mentioned that we have been in martial arts.
Yeah.
Taekwondo, for instance. I've
Yeah.
been in 2 different forms of Taekwondo.
Okay.
And what do you think number one thing that actually discourages anybody from continuing on? They started at the white belt, but eventually some people just quit. But what is the number one thing that you believe that people quit for?
Good question. I mean,
Part of the answer we've already talked about.
yeah, obviously, no doubt we did. We talked about a lot of things, my friend.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, some people might get in their head and believe like it's difficult and they can't do it. The belief of I can't do this. It's
Oh, it's like one of my favorite statements. It says, "He who says he can and he who says he cannot are both usually right."
okay.
Going into a little bit more detail is the fact that when we go into martial arts of any kind, the number one thing that we want to go for is that black belt, that expert degree in martial arts.
Right.
However, what we don't take into account is the fact that it's going to be a hard struggle. It's going to be difficult. You're going to fall on your face. You're going to get hurt.
Oh yeah.
But what we also should take into account is, yeah, we all start off at the white belt. When we get a level higher than the white belt, capture and celebrate that moment because it truly is an accomplishment. It is one step further than you were yesterday.
Yeah,
Celebrate
absolutely.
every achievement,
Every little thing. Yep.
which also goes back to your mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we celebrate, we start to get that self confidence like, yes, I've done it. That part's behind me.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking forward to the future. I'm looking forward to getting that yellow belt, the um, brown belt, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But everything deserves a bit of a celebration because we've accomplished it.
Right. Yes. Definitely. Because then, like you said, we eventually wire in our brains where, yeah, now we start believing. Now we're like, hey, I did that. Oh, hey, I did that. Now I'm going to do this.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it starts becoming, something that's a reality in your mind. Like, yes.
I'm going to be honest that when I first started out in martial arts,
Mm-hmm.
I was in my 40s.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually believe I can actually get anywhere. But
Yeah.
I manufactured a false sense of accomplishment. I put it out there.
Mm-hmm.
I manufactured my own self confidence to the point where
Mm-hmm.
people actually started to believe in me. And
Mm-hmm.
as I'm accomplishing things that I couldn't do the day before,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't have to manufacture that self confidence anymore. Because with that, I've also strengthened my own foundation.
Right. Right. Yes. Definitely. Yeah, mine was a little different. I mean, obviously, when I got into Taekwondo, I was younger, a lot younger. But um, as you well know, at that age, at least in my mind, I felt like I was the tiniest thing on the planet. I mean, I was very small. So when I went in there, you can imagine, well, maybe, but I felt like I'm so tiny. Am I going to, you know?
Imagine me at the polar opposite. I'm older and heavier.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah. I can imagine.
I had what I like to call a world class instructor.
Mm-hmm.
The man was blind. And when I first found out that my martial arts instructor was blind, my first response was, "Are you kidding me?"
I can imagine. But that's amazing though. But yeah, I can imagine. First, like, really?
Yeah, we
Uh,
became really good friends,
mm-hmm.
and we're still friends to this very day. In
Right
fact, he's
on.
in jujitsu now.
Nice. Nice. Yes, grappling now.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's a little different.
Fortunately for him, everyone's sight is exactly the same when you're in close quarters because you don't see nothing at times.
Right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My goodness. Wow. That's amazing, man. Good on him. That's great.
For sure. And that's also because he actually had the belief system in order for him to carry on to another martial art that he never had before.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I guess that gave him, the confidence and the belief. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Plus, he's 20 something.
Well, yeah. You're 20. I'm invincible. Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah.
But what do you think some of the biggest issues that we're having with mental health of today?
Oh, man. Well, I know a big thing that really probably affects us all is, within society, is that we're constantly go, 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 go. I gotta have my kids' school. I gotta get to work. I gotta make dinner. I gotta do this. And then you gotta go to bed and you do it all over, right? So, like, and I really don't think that us humans, to begin with, were actually made for that. If you really look back in history.
You do realize you're talking to the workaholic of all
Yeah.
workaholics.
Oh, I realize.
16-hour days going from one
Mm-hmm.
job to the other job while
Mm-hmm.
picking and dropping off the wife from her job, balancing the gym, martial arts, and Toastmasters.
Mm-hmm.
If I had 3 minutes in a row, I wouldn't know what to do with all that downtime.
Oh man. Yeah. Stretch, moan, and yawn. There
Yeah.
you go. There's that time.
Yeah, I had a 10-minute nap. I'm ready to go back to work. But
Oh,
one of the
dear.
biggest things I realize that is hindering a lot of people's mental health is that we're allowing other people to dictate terms to us.
That, yes. Yes.
They're telling us how we should feel. They're telling us our value in society. They're telling us how we look or
Yep.
how we should feel.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. How to dress, everything. Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
It's like the keyboard cowboys of today are the cyber bullies that back in the 80s, I'm willing to bet in my high school back in the day, one of my bullies could beat up 10 of today's bullies.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Keyboard warriors. Gotta love 'em.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keyboard cowboys.
That too. But, you just gotta try to um, embrace it and accept it that if you're doing anything on the internet, it's the internet. It's going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
And you just got to let it be. Never mind the naysayers. They're always going to be there. Right? Like doing my show and being online presence and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I expect it. It comes with it. I am not made for everybody to like. And that's okay.
That actually brings me up to another
Not
question.
everybody's supposed to like me. It's not. That's not how it
Yeah,
works.
well, it's actually not a question. It's more of a statement, actually. See how this makes you feel? Because, like, my daughter one time said to me that this person in school was giving her a hard time and making her feel bad about herself.
Mm-hmm.
My first question to her was, do you even like that person? Does this person have any inspiration in your life, any impact on your life? Do you even like this person? And she said to me, no. Then why do you care?
Right? Exactly. Let them be them. Don't worry about it.
The only people that you should be listening to when it comes down to any of that is the voice that comes in your own mind. That is the only voice that you cannot get away from, truly.
Yeah, very true. Yes. Yep.
But we got to make sure that we're focusing in on the positive.
That's right. And I feel like there's just not enough out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And it's not hard, right? Find something that you enjoy, be kind to others. You don't have to like them. You don't have to be best friends with them.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. And, just live your life. Do things that make you happy.
And this is also why I embrace Toastmasters so much, as well as martial arts.
Yeah, more about that. I wanna
I
know.
believe that being good at one also helps me be better at the other.
Okay.
One of the many common denominators that martial arts and Toastmasters have in common is the fact that it's a very safe space for everybody to join.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be great at anything.
Right.
First of all, you don't have to be great to start anything. You just have to start to be great. But it's a learning experience for everybody to go through at their own pace.
Nice.
Both martial
Okay.
arts and Toastmasters have mentors in place for people to learn as they go along. Toastmasters isn't just about delivering speeches. It's also about delivering inspiration. It's about gaining self-confidence while giving other people self-confidence through edification, education, and support.
Very nice. Okay. Okay. I didn't realize that. I mean, again, I short-minded. I thought you were giving speeches, public speaking, and that's, kind of what it was.
I,
But
I also hold a leadership position in the Toastmasters. I'm an area director,
oh,
formerly
beautiful.
known
Okay.
as the area governor. I personally prefer the governor title.
Oh.
But the purpose of my position
Mm.
within my organization is to help club presidents grow their clubs and also help their membership gain the confidence that everyone should have in their life.
Okay. Wow. Nice. Man, there's more to it than I even thought.
Yes, actually, if I had to talk about Toastmasters only, I could probably go on for an hour.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, we don't want to,
No,
you know, bore the poor audience.
true that. But going back to the original
Mm.
conversation about
Mm.
mental health,
Mm.
how do you think we can inspire future generations to have better mental health than we ever did before?
Oh, wow. I mean, there's so many ways and simple ways too. Just show them that it's okay. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to be, just to be them, to
Yes.
do what they're doing, that whatever's making them happy, whatever it is, sports, gaming, doesn't matter. If they're happy doing it, it's okay. Right? And I think that's a major thing. It is okay. Because I think once we get the understanding with ourselves that, hey, I'm okay. It's okay to be me.
Yes.
It's okay to be different. You know?
And another thing too, and this is for people of my generation,
Mm,
it's okay to feel and express things,
absolutely.
because there was a time when I refused to. I just shut it all down. Well, I tried to the best I could, but
Mm, mm.
the end result was
Yeah.
disastrous.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like
Because your
turning,
body's fighting with it, right? You're like, it wants to feel because it's a human thing, but you're fighting with it. So,
yes,
yeah, that must have been a
because it's like
clash.
pressure and time turned
Mm-hmm.
those emotions as hard as diamond.
All right. Mm-hmm.
When I got older, it was harder to deal with, and I had a lot to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, I decided that I was going to study up on more cognitive behavior therapy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I wanted to get a better understanding
Mm-hmm.
to why everything was happening, why I decided to allow things to happen, why my depression turned into alcoholism, and why I
Mm-hmm.
lost control of alcoholism,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and certain surrounding events that happened during those time frames, including why I was so poor with money. I was making good money, but I had nothing to show for it based on
Mm-hmm.
the fact that I was spending $50 a week on, or not $50 a week, $50 a day
Oh,
on alcohol, which turned into $350 a week, $14,000 in 10 months.
wow. My goodness. Yeah.
From what I heard, there was actually an intervention actually planned until I came out publicly stating that I quit drinking.
Oh.
But it's because I wasn't dealing with my mental health issues in a
Mm-hmm.
proper manner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I wasn't channeling it. I wasn't listening. I wasn't allowing people in. I kept people at a distance, which also
Mm-hmm.
impacts people's mental health in a major degree.
Yeah. Yeah. See, I kind of relate because, as you know, my moments where Man, it was brutal. I never left my place. I just dived into, and I thank God no drugs or alcohol, but I dived right into video games and just that's I
Uh,
wouldn't move.
time out on the
Well,
alcohol
okay, I
part.
drank here and there, but I wasn't like I didn't
Yeah.
go crazy.
No, 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 no.
But yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't go crazy
No,
on the
no.
alcohol like I did.
Yeah.
In fact, there's times when I don't even remember going to bed for crying out loud.
Yeah.
But thank God I woke up in bed and not my car.
Very true. Good God. Yes. Yeah. Except for that well not except. I mean it's not that you woke up in there, but
Actually,
I
I did.
was oh you did wake up in there at that time. Ooh. Yeah, because man, I remember that phone call.
Yeah, I don't actually
4:30 in
remember.
the morning, bro.
I don't even actually remember getting in the car.
Oh wow. Yeah, that's scary, man. I couldn't even wow.
But
Yeah.
in the end,
Mhm.
that triggered a lot of things for me in a positive light because I needed to figure things out.
Mhm. Mhm.
I just wasn't aware on how bad my mental health truly was
Mhm.
until COVID happened, actually, when I was a workaholic of all workaholics.
Mhm.
I had 16-hour days plus drive time.
Right, right.
And then when I got fired from my first job because COVID shut down the restaurant, I was like,
Mhm.
it's okay. I got a second job.
Yeah.
And then when the second job shut down, I was like,
Oh man.
I, I was lost,
Mm.
confused. I had no idea what to do. I felt like when I needed another fix,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
kind of like a drug withdrawal, if you will,
Right.
minus the drugs.
Mm. Mhm.
But yeah, I didn't realize on how I didn't even realize then the impact on my mental health too, because during that time frame, I also strained a lot of my relationships.
Mhm.
I simply had no time.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I look back on it and I realize what I did during that time frame, I still can't believe I did that.
Well, again, as humans, we got to try not to dwell
Mm-hmm.
on what was and what happened, and try to learn from 'em and go
Exactly.
that I'm not going to do again. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you hit it perfectly right there because we dwell on the negative,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't celebrate the positive.
That's right. That's right.
The
Yeah.
positive thing about that particular incident that you talked about, I got behind the wheel of a car, blackout drunk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember getting behind the wheel of a car.
Yeah.
The upside is I didn't hurt nobody.
Mm-hmm. Thank God. Yes. Yes.
Sure, I was a little bit sore in the end, but other than that, the only wreckage was my car, a fence, my pride.
Right. Yes.
But I'll take that any day. And I had to do the responsible driving program, which gave me an insight that I never had before.
Mm-hmm.
Principal kind of, or the teacher kind of looked like Principal Belding from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah. And I'm so glad that I had a part in, sparking a bit of that change.
Yes. Yes, you did.
I made that decision to be a true ride or die
Yeah.
because a lot of people think a ride or die, friend is like, yeah, the person you call at 4:30 in the morning and before they're even like answering the phone, they already got their, getting their jeans on,
Yeah.
which, yeah, for sure. But
But
I made a decision. The best thing to do to be the best friend I can be is to let things happen and
and
pick
that
you
was
up at the
actually the
police
best
station.
decision of all because
Hmm.
if I would have left at that particular time, things would have been a lot worse.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was going to go pick you up and, yeah, the whole nine. But, yeah, Instead, I picked you up at the police station and just let's let things.
Yeah, let's let things slide one day at a
Yeah,
time.
because I just felt like, you know, you're my brother, and I'm like, I want this to change, and I need you to learn. I want, hopefully, right?
And that I
So,
did.
yeah,
I did.
thank
So.
God. Yeah, that sparked a bit, definitely. So, yeah.
But the number one thing that we all have to do from time to time is we have to fall on our face. We have
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
fall on hard times because that's where we truly get stronger because we learn from it and we move forward.
100%. Yes.
But I'm going to quote something that I love quoting. It's from Coach Carter.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
What do we fear the most? We fear that we are powerful beyond measure. When we are powerful beyond measure, we let our own inner light shine. Allow other people to shine their light,
Mm-hmm.
and we inspire. It is our light that we fear, not our darkness. In our light, we fear it based on the fact that we are afraid of messing things up.
Mm-hmm. We're afraid of failure.
Exactly.
And yeah, absolutely.
And it's in our darkness that we take comfort, which is also where the negative energy lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And if there's one lesson that I always want people to walk away with when it comes down to any messages that I give is the first person that you have to believe in before you can believe in anyone else is yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, like everything, it starts here. Yeah.
And there are simple exercises that people can do basically anywhere to help them strengthen their foundation of mental health.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is it that you like about yourself?
Right. Right.
You have to answer this question for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you like your eyes. Maybe you like your hair. Maybe,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, you like your skin tone.
Sure. Whatever it may be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just as long as it's one thing that's positive about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
because it's all in repetition, and also to believe in yourself to go forward.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like I said at Toastmasters quite a few times that there's been a couple of people, they've been so hard on themselves because they couldn't get their speech right. They've written it down, they tried to memorize it, but when they got to the building, they couldn't remember it for the life of them
Mm-hmm.
because they didn't have the confidence when they're inside the building. And I simply pointed out that when it comes down to being here in the building, you're in a place where people are supporting you. They're not here to bring you down.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And if you mess up a line, who cares? It's your speech. You've written it. It's not like there's somebody else over there trying to say cut because you didn't say your line right.
Fair enough. Yeah. 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 Totally. Man.
But a state of good mental health, just like anything else, starts somewhere, and it has to be
Mm-hmm.
the person who is feeling it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and sometimes you got to embrace things and embrace challenges. Like I understand that not long ago you developed this stutter, and it's another challenge
Yes.
you had to figure. You're still working on and figuring out. I mean, that must have been something like just like one day, just all of a sudden.
Yeah, one day when I was at work, I was reading the bills
Mm-hmm.
of the orders that the people were making, burgers, fries,
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I was talking perfectly fine, and the next thing I know, I start stuttering. I also noticed something completely odd, too, is the fact that when I'm doing a presentation like this, as you've heard, a lack of stuttering,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it
Doing great.
feels great.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only when I'm doing a presentation. But when I am talking individually with people, that's when the stuttering happens the most.
That too.
Mike Tyson time.
The most.
The most.
Okay.
But my speech therapist also told me that the reason why I'm having an easier time to come over this challenge is because instead of shying away from it and being self-confident because I stutter, I get down on myself because I stutter, I'm angry with myself because I stutter,
Yeah. Yeah. Getting all frustrated. And, yeah.
I embraced it
Nice. Nice.
because there's something
Awesome.
to learn from this for me. And I know that I started to stutter because I needed to learn this lesson. I still don't know what it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
other than the fact that maybe don't stress out so much. When my stress payload was at its maximum because I was having certain issues, once those issues were metaphorically removed from my shoulders, that's when the stuttering went down by at least 50%.
Wow. Man, stress is an incredible thing.
Yeah,
Like
as
things
somebody
it
in
can
my
do.
support group called it, it was mind-body syndrome.
Oh wow. Okay.
To give you a better idea of it, stress leads to ulcers. It also leads to male pattern baldness.
Oh yeah.
Or woman pattern baldness, whatever you may be. But it also leads to a plethora of health issues.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But when you remove some of that stress, some of it maybe be able to be reversed.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'm not looking at this stutter as a curse. I'm looking at it as a lesson that I'm probably going to have to live with for the rest of my life. But
Oh
it's
wow.
how I
Okay.
handle it that's going to make all the difference in the world. My therapist has given me lots of mouth exercises in order to help limit the stuttering, and it has actually been successful.
Oh, wonderful. Good. Good.
And one of the reasons too that when I started to get stutter,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't go into those depression states is because I've already strengthened that foundation. I've already gained that self-confidence.
Right. Right.
And I'm hoping to be able to do the same thing for other people. Well, help them do that for
Yeah,
themselves.
or discover
Yeah.
that. Yeah, for sure. 100%.
So another big lesson I want everyone to walk away with is the fact that Nicolas Cage was right in Lord of War. Never
Oh
go to
yeah.
war, especially with yourself.
Yes. Yes. Nice. Lots of movie quotes. I love it. I
Yes.
love it. Big movie buff, so absolutely, I love it.
Yes.
Nice.
Especially when it comes down to mental health, like you can never have enough quotes.
Very true. Very true.
But it's like having a gym membership and you don't go.
Right. Uh, yes. I've known a few.
Yes. I've actually had days where I was in the gym where I was in the gym before the staff got there and still in the gym after they left. It's like,
Wow.
oh, you're only doing an 8-hour day?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But those are things that I did to boost my own self-confidence.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because anything that you do when you're first starting out and you watch other people, they're going to know more than you.
Sure.
You're going to walk in and you're not going to know nothing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
In fact, if you know that you know nothing, that's the beginning. Because you know something that you know nothing.
Right. Right.
But one of the things that is for everything across the board, it doesn't matter what it is, never compare yourself to anyone else. Ever.
Absolutely.
Because how do you know that same person you just compared yourself to, how do you know that they're not comparing themselves against you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's something about
100%.
you that they find more attractive on you than they do on themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. No, I think some of the things that helped me, well, to begin with anyway, obviously, were you, because when you stayed with me when I was like, I don't know,
Agoraphobic.
like, sure, we'll use that term. Not quite, but thankfully.
Oh, come on. The summary of times that you spent outdoors in any given week on average can be boiled down to minutes.
Yeah, yeah, it was pretty bad. But yeah, so with you there and my ex fiance when I got with her, she, I don't know, showed me how to live again. I ended up finally, we went camping, we went to the river, we went, I just, that's where it all started.
Yes.
And then, even after we split up, you know, my our friend, you know who I'm talking about. We don't need to name names,
Hmm.
but he took me out everywhere. Started showing me places that I never thought I'd ever see, and camp, and
Yes.
and it just went from there. And then I just started developing that love and passion that I always had for the outdoors. I mean, I always camped through my childhood. It was out fishing,
Yes.
camping.
And I actually remember a small camping trip that we took. Actually, you joined me on the camping trip I already was established with my father
Is that
for
the
the
one where you were caught?
what?
You remember that trip where I don't know if it was our friend or me. No, I think it was our friend who caught you fishing. Caught you
No,
with the hook.
no. We were not
Oh,
fishing.
that was funny. I mean, maybe not for you, but
We were at Chilliwack Lake, but we weren't
okay,
fishing.
okay. I just remember that particular, I
Yeah,
guess, trip.
that would have definitely stood out of my mind.
Oh man.
But I remember going fishing. This is a different fishing trip.
Okay,
This is
okay.
years ago when I didn't have excellent handle on my mental health. I was depressed. I was medicated. I was a lot of other things I don't remember at this particular time. But
Mm.
it was a very dark place in my life, and we went out fishing. And for that brief little while, I was so relaxed. I wasn't thinking about anything negative. Just thinking about being in the moment and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
how funny it was when he dented his door to the point where he couldn't open it because of a badly skipped rock.
Oh yes, the great 4x4ing trip. I now
Yeah,
remember now exactly what you're talking about. Oh man.
a bit of a rescue mission too, because a certain somebody went into an area and couldn't get themselves out.
Yeah. Oh, good times.
Oh yeah,
Yes. Yes. Now I know exactly the moment you're talking about now. You betcha. Oh man. Great times.
I don't know. What do
But
you
yeah,
want to
that's how it
do?
worked
I
for
don't know.
me.
What do you want to
Once I
do? I don't know. What do you
developed.
want to do? I don't know. What do you want
Yeah.
to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? It's so indecisive.
Oh
After
man.
5 minutes of hearing that, that's when I took charge.
Yep. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, I was I don't know if it was just I mean, obviously youth
Mm.
and the stage in life, but yeah, it was just that time of I don't know, it's how we answer all the time. It was just like, what do you want to do? I don't know. What do you want to do? I don't know. What do you feel
Okay,
like?
great. You know where I'm going to be. Do you mind picking us up there? Great, no problem. Okay, let's see you in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're just direct. All right, we'll be there. Great. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like I said, maybe last week. Actually, it was last week that we are so polar opposite that it actually makes our relationship work on
Mm-hmm.
a level that can't be done with any other person.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we 100% confirmed that even earlier today, even. Like, wow.
Yeah,
Uh, but that's how it's supposed to be. If
yeah,
we sat here and agreed with everything, there'd be something I would like. There's something wrong.
Exactly. But
Uh,
we just need to take into account that life is about celebrating the little things,
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
celebrating an accomplishment. It doesn't matter if it's a big accomplishment, as long as it's an accomplishment.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we're not here to be perfect. It's progress, not perfection.
That's right. Yep. Yep.
If you have a physical problem where you can't walk, say, 10 feet, but you can walk 2 feet,
Mm-hmm.
that's 2 feet that you can walk. And then maybe try 3 feet,
Right. Yep. Yep. Small steps.
small steps.
That's right.
And
Yeah.
then you can't walk 3 feet for 3, 4 days. It's no problem.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
Mm-hmm.
But now you can walk 3 feet. Now
Right.
let's try 4 feet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then 6 feet.
Yeah.
Because everything has to be done on your time.
That's right.
If we compare each other to each other,
Mm-hmm.
we're always going to fall short somewhere.
Yeah, we are. Yeah. We're two different individuals, man. Yeah.
And when we fall short on something, it doesn't matter what it was, we give up on everything.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that, yeah, we're the hardest on ourselves. So,
Exactly. And
yeah,
like I said, our voice is the only voice that we can't get away from.
that's right.
I can go on the other side of that door and
Oh,
get away
yeah.
from you,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't get away from me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
But as we're coming to a close now, what is the number one thing that you want to leave with people to give them cause to ponder?
Cause to ponder. Well, the only thing I can go by is, my own experiences, obviously, and, what helped me, which might not help you. But, with me, I discovered myself. I discovered things that I enjoyed, that made me happy. Um, whether it was for me, outdoors, walking trails, exploring, photography and filming while I'm out there exploring, and, things that made me happy. Um, it's where I found my serenity. It's where I found my comfort, where I can self-reflect and self-discovery, you know? And yeah, it'll differ for all of us, but that's where my experience. That's where I found it, and I find it. So find something that you enjoy doing that makes you happy.
Do you remember Farsight at all?
Of course. Oh
I
yes.
seen this phrase in high school. I will never forget it for the rest of my life.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I am lost. I went out to find myself. If I should get back before I return, please tell me to wait.
I love it. Yes. Oh yes. The good old Far Side comics. Gotta love them.
But the message is solid. You got to go out there and you got to find yourself. You got to find who you are. You got to find out who you are, not what you are.
That's right.
Because when we define ourselves by what we do for a paycheck, we are only defining what other people expect us to be, what other people expect us to do, because you're drawing a paycheck. When you define who you are by what you are
Mm-hmm.
inside, that makes all the difference in the world.
Right. Right. Yeah. Then from there you can start building that strong foundation.
Just remember, it's the ripple effect. And it can get bigger and bigger as it goes along. And once it gets so big, nothing can stop it. No force in the entire world can ever stop it. It's
That's
because
right.
you put it out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the only thing I can really come with, obviously, like I said, my experience is find something you enjoy and that makes you happy. And I guess, you know, don't stress over the things, especially that are beyond our control. You know, I hate the saying, but it is what it is. Or try to embrace it. Like, okay, that just happened. I remember when I first moved out here, where I am, and the first month I moved out here, I didn't know the place. I didn't know anyone. And the first month I moved out here, I have a fire, and I didn't know if I lost everything, the whole nine. And I'm very proud of how I handled it. I ended up staying in a motel.
Yeah.
I had my laptop, and I went, okay, this sucks. This just happened. What can I do? Well, I don't want to be in this place for long, right?
Yes.
So I took my laptop and I just went to work, man, and here, got my place, and now I've been in this place for 4 years, and it's been great. I love it here.
Well, that's another life lesson right there too, because we all struggle with things from time to time. We all
100%.
struggle with a fire that's a setback. We deal with
Oh, no matter what it is,
money
car trouble.
problems, car
Yeah,
troubles.
absolutely. Yeah.
When we fixate on what the problem is, we stress ourselves out to the point where all we can see is the problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the problem is always going to escalate.
Right. Right.
Instead, and what you just illustrated is the fact that instead of dwelling on what the problem was, you start to search for the solutions.
Yes. Yes.
And when you remove yourself out of that problem zone, because the problem's still there, but
Of
you just have
course.
to learn how to deal with it, learn how to
Mm-hmm.
handle it,
Yep.
like the stuttering that I'm talking about.
Right.
Instead of stressing about it,
Mm-hmm.
putting my mind into a downward spiral, which could make the things worse, I simply chose to embrace it. I chose to just say the heck with it. I stutter. I'm trying to figure out how to get
Yeah, the
better.
beautiful thing I really admire too is like all that, but one just hearing you wanting to understand it. Go, hey, why? How? I need to understand.
Yes.
I think I love that. I admire that. You know.
And when I found out what the problem is, my first thought was the problem has a name. I know how to kill it.
Oh man.
But yeah, number one thing I want people to walk away with is just simply love yourself. Simply believe in yourself. Believe in something small about yourself, and that belief will grow. And it will grow until it just gets to its biggest point where
Mm-hmm.
the belief that you have in yourself cannot be destroyed by any force on this planet. There are going to be down times. We all have those. But it's how you get up after
Mm-hmm.
that makes all the difference.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how much we fall because we're all going to fall on our face every now and again. But
Yeah, 100%.
we all have to get up. Sometimes we have to get picked up,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but that happens.
Yes, it does. Sometimes we need a little help.
Exactly. It's a help up.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Wonderful. Yes, so with that said, you heard it here. And man, if any, for the audience, where can they find you? Any social media or anything?
Well, if you really want to find me, I'm on social media. My name is Gerard Fitch on Facebook because he wouldn't allow my real last name on Facebook.
You're kidding.
No.
Wow.
Even with my sister producing ID to prove it was her last name,
Mm-hmm.
they would not allow it to go on there.
Wow. Unbelievable.
I chose to go with Gerard Fitch because it's actually pronounced Fick, the old Austrian family name from before my great-grandfather emigrated from Austria to Canada.
Mm-hmm.
It was spelled F-I-C-H. Along the lines, it also went to F-I-C-H-T-E-R, so it became Fick to Victor.
Oh, okay.
It's sort of like Victor with an F.
Right. Yeah.
But Canada immigration put a check mark over the C, changing it to a G forever.
Man.
Or if you really want to see me in person, check out a Toastmasters meeting in Chilliwack. Chances are you'll find me there.
Yes. Okay, well, with that said, we're going to wrap up. And please do share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified. So, whenever I put new video up, you'll know. And definitely leave a comment. Leave a comment if you have any questions or anything. I'd love to see some comments and questions. So please do that. And it helps the channel grow immensely, and it's appreciated more than you know. And so for any more information on the podcasts on 2025, excuse me, brain fart, you can go to the website podcaston.org. It'll be in the description below for more information if you'd like, and if you'd like to donate, you don't have to. It's not required. So yeah, thank you, and I love you. I appreciate you, and let's love each other. Be good to one another.
Be excellent to each other.
Be excellent. Yes, Bill and Ted, baby.
All the way.
Yes, but let's love one another. Be good to each other, because life is always game for us. So let's be always game for life.
And keep your stick on the ice.
Absolutely. We'll see you on the next one. Bye for now, guys.
See you in the funny papers.
Always game for life with a heart that's strong. We stand united, knowing we belong. Through ups and downs, together we'll strive, spreading awareness for mental health for life.